Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Starbreaker X back here with another video, and I got a new what if. It's called "What if Deku eat the I can't say it. Bara no me. I think that's how he say it. I don't know if I butchered it or not, but yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with all your friends. Let's get on with the what if. Okay, so this would have starts when Deku is 8.5, and him and Bakugo are running around the neighborhood, which is what they called adventuring. Deku spotted a strange-looking plant in their neighbor's yard. He goes to look at it, and then he thinks to himself, "This kind of looks like a fruit." And then he remembers that he watched this show when about a year ago called Naruto, and the little fruits on the plant looks like the Uzumaki clan's symbol. And then Deku says, "That looks really good. I want to take a bite out of that, but I don't know if it's edible or not." Then Bakugo walks up and says, "What is it? What is this? What is this? Some kind of fruit?" And then Deku says, "I don't know. I'm gonna eat it." And then Bakugo says, "Why would you eat something that's just been laying out here for who knows how long?" And then Deku says, "You'll never know if it's good until you try it out. It could be a fruit from America." Deku then eats it, and he feels a strange surge of power, and it's awfully sweet. Then, what's her name? Deku says, "Here, Bakugo, try this, try this. This is really, really good." And then Bakugo goes and takes a bite of it, and he says, "Ugh, this is really bitter. What do you mean this is good?" And then Deku says, it was really sweet. What do you mean it's bitter?" Deku then takes another bite out of it, and he says, "Ugh, what happened to it?" And then Bakugo says, "See what I mean? You shouldn't be going eating random fruits in people's yards." He says, "You're right. Let's go home." When Deku gets home, he trips on like you know how like they have like a little part of the step where like this door frame is. He trips on that, and then his leg detaches from his body, and well, the leg that trip detaches from his body, and he starts floating, and then his body goes back down to the ground, and then his leg like goes back to his body, and then he says, what was that? Is that is that my quirk?" And then he goes to his mom and he says, "I think I've unlocked my quirk." And then he feels a strange urge to try to make himself fly. Then he detaches all his limbs, and then he uses them to carry his main body up into the air. Inko thinks this is freaky, but glad that her son has unlocked his so-called quirk. It's not really a quirk, it's really just a power, so he still is quirkless. So then Inko takes him to the quirk doctor, and after the doctor runs various tests on him, he says, "Did you eat a strange fruit from somewhere?" And then Deku says, I did. How did you know?" And then the doctor then explains to him, "This power can only come from a fruit called a devil fruit. And this certain devil fruit is called the Bara no Mi." And Deku says, "Okay, so I don't have a quirk?" Then the doctor says, "You actually don't. You have something better than a quirk, basically. You can remove all your limbs at will and make them levitate. You can you can basically fly if you detach all your limbs and have them carry your main body around. But you can also fly with your main body. Be, yeah, you could just yeah he could fly with his main body. I'll just let him fly with his main body. I'm not gonna make it like a slingshot type thing. And then Deku says thanks with a confused look on his face, and then Eiko and him go home. He looks out the window, and then he sees his neighbor who he sees his neighbor's yard who he had picked up the fruit from. His neighbor comes out, and it's this strange looking pirate. And then they could feel the connection between each other, and then the pirate pops off his arm and waves, and then Deku hears a voice in his head, and then he says, "You ate it too, huh?" And then Deku says, What the? Who are you?" He says, "Don't worry about that. Just know you ate my fruit out of my yard. I'm glad you got this power. Take care, kid." And then Deku says, "Okay." And then when Deku gets home, he says, he thinks to himself, who was him? He kind of looked like a pirate. It doesn't really matter anyway. Uh, I'll just go to sleep. When Deku sleeps, he thinks of all the things that he could possibly do with his quirk. He could possibly use it as a slingshot to propel himself when he gets ready for an attack. He could also pop his pop his arm off when his hand is curled up into a fist and use it as kind of a power boost for a punch, kind of like a spring. As he's dreaming of this, All for One is peering in his window. He says, "That's a strange power you have there, That's a strange power you have there, boy. But I don't think it's a quirk, so I won't be able to steal it. Maybe I can turn it into a quirk so I could steal it. Who knows? But I can't do this right now. I'll wait till it's more developed. And when he gets older, maybe about 15 or 16. When Deku wakes up, he looks out the window and notices a space between the bushes beside his beside his window, like outside of his window. And he says, "Was someone right there while I was sleeping?" He says, "It really doesn't matter. If they were, I'll still mess him up with my quirk. Well, with my power." He sadly remarks that he still doesn't have a quirk, but he was granted with this power. So Deku thinks of it as something divine. He's unordinary in both senses, with not having a quirk, but still having something better than a quirk that is separate from a quirk. Deku remarks to himself, "I'll probably be the strongest in UA when I get to that high school." And then Deku starts to think of hero names for himself. Then he thinks of Pop Off Boy. Um, that's not a good name. Bara Bara. Would that be a good name? Uh, then he says, "Nah, that wouldn't be a good name." And then he says, "What about just Bara?" And then he thinks to himself, "That's a good name. That's a cool nickname. I'll just tell all my friends to start calling me that from now on." And then Tell me in the comment section what Bara means. Like, just like Bara, like separate from Bara no me. Because I want to know what it means. Because I really don't feel like looking it up right now and, recording. So, just like, go comment down below. And comment more video suggestions while you're at that. But, yeah. I think I'll end this what if, I think I'll end this what if off right here. This was What If Deku Had Ate the Bara no Mi Part 1. Alright, stay hydrated. Don't forget to wear your mask. And bye, Starbreakers. That's the end of the what if.